Neil Gaiman is awesome! Today I'm here with one of my friends, Karalyn. She is our resident Neil Gaiman-ologist. She's here to talk with us about how Neil Gaiman is awesome.
It's true.
Neil Gaiman has more Twitter followers than anyone.
It's true.
A lot of that started with his American Gods blog.
It's true. I started reading his blog when I was 17. It had already gone on from the American Gods blog at that point, but only just interacting with someone who had written so many things that I loved and that spoke to me in so many different ways. It was just so interesting. This author who was distant and cool and amazing, it made him real and reachable and understandable, and you could ask questions and he would answer them, and he did normal everyday human things. He would post all the time where he was, where he was going, and he became the first author I ever met in person also. Sandman is what got him on the map for sure, and is still highly regarded to this day. People ask him all the time, are you going to write more comics? And he's like, well, I write what I want to write, basically. When you get to be Neil Gaiman, you get to write whatever you want to write. You get to write children's books and adult books, and he writes every kind, too, in between. There's the picture books for kids, there's things like Karalyn and the Graveyard books, which are for intermediate readers, and then American Gods, which I would never give to someone who was 10. He has a short stories book, he's got several, but the first one was Smoke and Mirrors. As a 17-year-old, reading short stories, too, like on purpose, not for school, you realized, oh my gosh, there's stuff that doesn't have to be forced down your throat that's really cool. He just does everything. If your definition of, pop novelist is someone who is popular, then Neil Gaiman definitely fits the bill. If you think that pop novelists are, pop novelists to the exclusion of literary value and intent, then that's definitely not Neil Gaiman. There's incredible literary value in basically everything that he's ever done, and that's something that I really value in Neil Gaiman's canon. Is it's worthwhile. It's true. Strongest place to start with Neil Gaiman? Strongest place to start? Well, it depends on who you are. American Gods is great, and I would recommend it to people, but if you're a little nervous about starting off on something so intense, Nancy Boys is great, and it's great for, young adults and adults can get into that pretty easily, whereas I wouldn't necessarily, like I said, recommend American Gods to a 10-year-old ever. Alright, I'm going to put a link in the doobly-doo to Nancy Boys, and that's Karalyn's recommendation for where you start with Neil Gaiman if you're completely unfamiliar, and also is probably a good idea if you've read other Neil Gaiman things and have not read that. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Karalyn, our resident Gaimanologist. Thank you, viewers. We're going to sweat to death in this 108-degree heat, and see you later.